In the serene village of Uzoro, the full moon nights were both eagerly anticipated and dreaded. The villagers would gather excitedly in the village square, sit in small groups according to their age grades, sing old legendary songs, dance, laugh heartily and tell stories of wars won by the village warriors and other interesting stories that extol the village and its past heroes. Children would also sit at the feet of elderly men and women and listen with rapt attention to fascinating folk tales carefully invented and crafted by their ancestors and passed down to generations to come. It was on one of these nights that a mysterious dancer, known only by her alluring presence and mesmerizing dance, appeared in the village square. Her beauty was unparalleled. With every graceful movement, she captivated the villagers. Her curvaceous figure, swathed in flowing fabrics, and her slightly veiled face added to her enigma. Every full moon, the villagers would gather, unable to resist the pull of her dance. The young men in particular were drawn to her as if enchanted. They would surround her, hoping to be the one she chose to dance with. Yet, this enchantment came with a terrible price. Each man who danced with her would lose his sanity, wandering the streets in a state of madness. Conversations buzzed around the village, filled with curiosity and fear. "Have you seen her? She moves like the wind," exclaimed Okemute, one of the village youths. "But she brings madness. My own brother is now lost because of her," replied another, a sorrowful look on his face. The village chief, Ovie Akpofure, was desperate for a solution. "We must find out who she is and why she brings this curse upon us." On the night of the full moon, the village square was crowded with villagers waiting for the mysterious dancer. As the moon climbed higher, a hush fell over the crowd. There she was, emerging from the shadows, her movements fluid and entrancing. The villagers watched in awe, unable to look away. "She's here," whispered Ufoma to her friend, eyes wide with fascination. "Yes, but at what cost?" her friend replied, fear lacing her voice. The young men, despite knowing the fate that awaited them, were irresistibly drawn to her. They pushed forward, eager to be close to her, hoping she would choose them. As she danced, her eyes seemed to pick out her next victim, and the chosen man would step forward, entranced by her allure. That night, it was Edewo, a respected young man in the village, who was chosen. The villagers watched helplessly as he succumbed to the madness that followed their dance. The next day, Edewo was seen roaming the streets, muttering incoherently and displaying signs of dementia. The village was in an uproar. More men had turned mad and the number of afflicted was growing. "Ovie, we cannot continue like this," a villager pleaded during a council meeting. "Our sons, our husbands, they are all lost to this curse." "We must find her and stop this madness," the chief declared. "But how? She vanishes without a trace every time." Efe, a young man with a keen mind and curious nature, listened intently. He was determined to uncover the mystery of the dancer and save his village from further despair. "I will find her," Efe vowed quietly to himself. "I will discover her secret and put an end to this calamity." Efe knew that to catch the mysterious dancer, he would need to be clever and cautious. He observed her patterns, noting the path she took each time she exited the village square. He decided to hide near the place she usually disappeared and follow her without being seen. He shared his plan with his closest friend Odafe. I will hide in the bushes near the square tonight and follow her when she leaves, Efe explained. It is dangerous, Efe. What if she discovers you? Odafe warned. I have to try. We cannot let more men fall victim to her curse. This is our home, our people. We must protect them, Efe responded, resolute. That night, Efe took his place hidden among the bushes, his heart pounding with anticipation and fear. As the full moon illuminated the village, the mysterious dancer appeared once again, captivating the crowd. Efe stayed hidden, watching her every move. When the dance ended and she began to leave, he quietly followed her, keeping to the shadows. The dancer moved swiftly, her movements graceful even in her haste. Efe trailed behind, careful not to make a sound. They left the village behind, venturing into the dark forest. Efe's heart raced as they approached a lonely mansion hidden deep within the woods. This is where she resides, Efe thought. But why here, in such a desolate place? Gathering his courage, Efe approached the mansion and knocked on the door. The dancer, startled, opened it slightly. Her eyes widened in surprise at the sight of him. Who are you? Why have you come here? She demanded, her voice laced with both curiosity and apprehension. I am Efe, from the village. I have come to ask why you torment us, he replied boldly. Her expression shifted from shock to a seductive smile. She wanted to coax him into dancing with her so as to gain another mad victim. You should not have come here, Efe, she purred, stepping closer. But since you have, let us dance. Efe felt the pull of her allure, but steeled himself against it. No, I will not dance with you. I want to know why you curse our men with madness. Realizing that her charms were not working on Efe, the dancer's demeanor changed. She sighed, her eyes filled with sorrow. You are strong, Efe, stronger than the others, she said. Very well, I will tell you my story. She invited him inside and they sat down. A long time ago, I was known as FEJIRO. I was in love with a man who promised to marry me, but he betrayed me, got me pregnant and forced me to abort the baby. He then married my best friend. Efe listened, his heart heavy with shock and sympathy. That is a terrible betrayal, he said softly. If that were all, it would be enough, FEJIRO continued. But the villagers turned on me for aborting my baby, without even bothering to listen to me, despite that I desperately pleaded to be heard out. They banished me to this forest and placed a curse on me. Any man I danced with would run mad. They didn't think that I would ever dream of returning to the village. I sought vengeance, and thus I come to the village every full moon. Efe was both horrified and saddened by FEJIRO's tale. But this vengeance only brings more suffering. Is there no way to break the curse? He asked. FEJIRO looked at him with a mixture of hope and despair. There is a way, but it is difficult. The curse can only be broken by a pure heart willing to help me. Are you that person, Efe? I will do whatever it takes to save my village and bring you peace, Efe replied, determination in his voice. FEJIRO explained the process to break the curse. It required a rare treasure hidden deep within the forest, guarded by ancient spirits. Efe returned to the village with a heavy heart, knowing the task ahead was perilous. He shared what he had learned with Odafe. We need to find this treasure and break the curse, Ife said. It is dangerous, but we cannot let our village suffer any longer. I will help you, Odafe replied. The two friends gathered supplies and set off into the forest, guided by FEJIRO's instructions. The forest was dark and foreboding, filled with strange noises and eerie shadows. Efe, do you think we can really find it? Odafe asked, uncertainty in his voice. We must, for our village and for FEJIRO, Efe answered resolutely. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Efe and Odafe encountered numerous obstacles. The forest seemed alive, intent on stopping them. Thorny vines blocked their path. Strange creatures watched from the shadows, and the air grew thick with an oppressive presence. We cannot give up, Efe urged, cutting through the vines with a machete. The treasure must be close. They pressed on, their determination unwavering. Finally, they reached a clearing where a large ancient tree stood. At its base, a small chest was buried, emitting a faint ethereal glow. This must be it, Odafe said, digging into the ground. As they unearthed the chest, the guardian spirits appeared, their forms shimmering with outwardly light. They spoke in unison, their voices echoing through the clearing. Who dares disturb the treasure of the forest? Efe stepped forward. We seek to break the curse placed on FEJIRO and save our village from madness. The spirits regarded them silently, then spoke again. The treasure you seek can break the curse, but only if your intentions are pure. Prove your worth. The spirits tested Efe and Odafe, challenging their resolve and purity of heart. They faced visions of temptation and fear, their inner strength and integrity tested to the limit. You must resist, Efe encouraged Odafe, who was struggling with a vision of his deepest fears. We can do this together, Odafe replied, finding strength in Efe's determination. After what seemed like an eternity, the spirits were satisfied. You have proven your worth. The treasure is yours. They handed Efe the chest, which glowed brightly in his hands. Use it wisely. Efe and Odafe returned to the village, the treasure safely in their possession. They went straight to FEJIRO, who awaited them anxiously. Did you find it? She asked, hope and fear in her eyes. Yes, we did, Efe replied, opening the chest. Inside was a small, intricately carved amulet, glowing with a soft light. This is it, FEJIRO said, tears streaming down her face. With this, the curse can be broken. FEJIRO explained the final steps to break the curse. The amulet had to be placed on her forehead, and a pure-hearted individual had to speak words of forgiveness and compassion. Efe, you must do it, FEJIRO said. Your heart is pure and you have shown me kindness. Efe took the amulet, his hands trembling slightly. He placed it on FEJIRO's forehead and spoke from his heart. The village of Uzoro forgive you, FEJIRO. Forgive them as well. Let go of your pain and find peace. A brilliant light enveloped FEJIRO. The curse was lifted. She collapsed, exhausted but free from the burden she had carried for so long. Word quickly spread through the village that the curse was broken. The villagers were overjoyed, but also filled with remorse for how they treated FEJIRO. Ovie Akpofure called a village meeting. We must make amends for the wrongs we have done. FEJIRO deserves our apologies and our gratitude. The villagers agreed, preparing a ceremony to welcome her back and ask for her forgiveness. FEJIRO, now free from the curse, was invited back to the village. She was hesitant at first, but Efe assured her of the villagers' sincerity. "You are welcome here, FEJIRO. We want to make things right," he said. The ceremony was held in the village square, the same place she had danced so many times. The villagers expressed their apologies and gratitude, acknowledging the pain they had caused her. FEJIRO stood before the villagers, her heart heavy with emotions. "I forgive you," she said softly. "Let us move forward and heal together." The villagers cheered, relieved and hopeful for a new beginning. The men who had been afflicted by the curse slowly regained their sanity thanks to the breaking of the spell. Efe and Odafe were hailed as heroes, but they remained humble. "We did what we had to for our village," Efe said. The village began the process of rebuilding trust and healing the wounds of the past. FEJIRO was given a place of honor and respect, and the villagers worked together to ensure such injustices would never happen again. Ovie Akpofure addressed the village. "We have learned a valuable lesson. Let us always act with kindness and understanding." The villagers nodded in agreement, determined to create a better future. FEJIRO found a new role in the village as a healer and advisor. Her experiences had given her a deep understanding of pain and forgiveness, and she used this to help others. "Your wisdom and strength are invaluable," Efe told her. "You have much to offer to our village." FEJIRO smiled, grateful for the chance to start anew. "Thank you, Efe. I am happy to be home." Efe and FEJIRO's bond began to grow stronger, and before long, Efe professed his love to FEJIRO and asked her to marry him. FEJIRO accepted the proposal without hesitation. She was grateful to have met a noble and resilient man like Efe. And in an elaborate traditional marriage ceremony that was the talk of the village for a very long time, they were joined together as husband and wife. With the curse lifted and FEJIRO's return, peace and sanity were restored to the village of Uzoro. The villagers celebrated their newfound harmony, grateful for the bravery and compassion that had brought them through their darkest times. Efe stood with Odafe, watching the festivities. "We did it, my friend. We saved our village," Efe said. "Yes, we did it," Odafe replied, smiling. "And we learned the true power of forgiveness and unity." The village thrived once more, a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the healing power of love and forgiveness. And so, Uzoro lived happily ever after, forever remembering the lessons learned from the mysterious dancer who had once brought them sorrow and redemption. This story imparts several valuable lessons. 1. The consequences of betrayal and injustice. FEJIRO's suffering and the subsequent curse were results of betrayal and mistreatment. This teaches the importance of treating others with fairness and respect. 2. The power of forgiveness. FEJIRO's eventual forgiveness of the villagers and their sincere apologies demonstrate that forgiveness can lead to healing and reconciliation. Holding on to anger and seeking revenge only perpetuates suffering. 3. Courage and determination. Efe's determination to uncover the truth and break the curse shows the power of courage and perseverance. It underscores that facing difficult challenges head-on is necessary to bring about positive change. 4. Unity and community support. The villagers' collective effort to apologize and welcome FEJIRO back into the community illustrates the importance of unity and community support in overcoming past wrongs and moving forward. 5. The impact of kindness and compassion. Efe's compassionate actions towards FEJIRO played a crucial role in breaking the curse. This emphasizes that kindness and empathy are powerful tools for resolving conflicts and healing wounds. 6. Redemption and second chances. FEJIRO's new role in the village as a healer and her marriage to Efe symbolize that even those who have suffered or caused pain can find new purpose and contribute positively to society. 7. Responsibility to right wrongs. The villagers' acknowledgement of their past mistakes and their efforts to make amends teach the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions and making efforts to correct them. Overall, the story is a rich tapestry of moral lessons centered on justice, forgiveness, courage, and the enduring strength of human compassion. I hope you enjoyed this enchanting story. Please like, comment, share this video and subscribe to this channel. Until I come your way next time, remain blessed.